My child, come closer. Listen to my voice. Let me tell you a story. There was once a son who loved his mother, or believed he did. When his father died and she moved to a small apartment alone, he made her a promise that seemed so simple. Every Sunday, Mom, I will call every Sunday. And for a while he kept that promise. Every Sunday at 3:00 her phone would ring.
She would settle into her chair with tea and a notepad,
Ready to share the week's small treasures. The cardinal outside her window, the kind grocery clerk, the neighbor's gentle gossip. But life got complicated, as it always does. The promotion came with longer hours, travel, and weekend meetings. One missed Sunday became 2, then a month, then 3. Each time guilt crept in, making the phone feel heavier. Tomorrow, he would tell himself. Next week, when I have more time. Meanwhile, she sat by that phone every Sunday at 3:00. Tea growing cold, stories polished and ready. When it didn't ring, she would wait another hour, then whisper to the silence, maybe next week. The chest pain started on a Tuesday, sharp, frightening, stealing breath from her lungs as she watered her flowers. In the emergency room, when the nurse asked who to call, she almost gave them his number, then stopped herself. He is so busy with work, she said quietly. Let me see how I feel tomorrow. Tomorrow became 3 weeks in cardiac care. Doctors came and went, explaining procedures she couldn't understand. Her roommate had daily visitors, flowers crowding the windowsill, but her side stayed quiet. The nights were long, and sometimes she would reach for the bedside phone, then pull her hand back. He would feel terrible if he knew. Better to wait until she was home, until she could tell the story gently. Finally, guilt cornered David in his car between meetings. 4 months, how long had it been? When the phone rang once, twice, 3 times, panic built in his chest. Hello, he said. Her voice sounded smaller, tired in a way that made him pull over. Mom, it is David. I'm so sorry I haven't called. Oh, sweetheart, she said, and he could hear her smile. I am so glad to hear your voice. He asked the usual questions, but something in her answers felt wrong. Too bright, too quick. When he pressed, there was a long, telling pause. Well, she said finally, I did have a little heart episode a few weeks ago. Nothing serious. I am home now, feeling much better. The world tilted. What do you mean? Were you in the hospital just for a little while? Really, David? I am fine. Why didn't you call me? The words came sharp with panic and guilt. Another pause. When she spoke, her voice was soft, full of something that broke him open. Oh, my dear boy, you have so much on your plate. I didn't want to worry you. Besides, I knew you would call when you were ready. I have been saving up all my stories to tell you. That is when it hit him. She had been alone in a hospital bed, scared and hurting, and her first thought was protecting him. She had been collecting moments like gifts, waiting patiently for him to come home to her. I am coming over, he said, voice breaking. Right now. I will put the kettle on. I have so much to tell you. When he walked into her apartment, she was sitting by the window, her face lighting up like sunrise. Her arms opened, and he collapsed into them like the child he would always be to her. She held him tight, stroking his hair. Shh, she whispered. You are here now. That is all that matters. I knew you would come when you were ready. And sitting there in his mother's arms, David understood something that shattered him and rebuilt him all at once. Love doesn't keep score. Love doesn't demand explanations. Love just waits, patient and sure, saving up stories for the moment you are finally ready to come home. His mother had been loving him perfectly all along, even in his absence, especially in his absence. That is what real love does. It never stops believing you are worth waiting for. That, my child, is how I love you. No matter how long you have been away, no matter how far you have wandered, I am here by the phone, saving up stories, waiting for you to come home.